I first became personally acquainted with BabyPlus 12 years ago when I wore it with my first child, and it was given to me by a family friend and suggested that I might appreciate the value of that. Of course, I looked more into it, and I wore it faithfully, and I was amazed. First of all, how easy it was to use, and as I read more about the potential impact, it was something that I felt like was such an easy way to kind of nurture my unborn child. So certainly once my first was born, at first I didn't give it much thought about, I'm waiting to see if it makes any difference. But in fact, it was amazing how quickly people mentioned how calm her temperament was, how she seemed so relaxed. And then as she developed, we were struck by how she seemed at such ease in her environment. She seemed to absorb things so well. And then, obviously then I continued and wore it with my second and third children as well. And, like any kids, they're all very different and they certainly have their strengths. I've learned, as I've watched other children, all three of mine plus friends' children that I have recommended BabyPlus to, and certainly some patients who have worn it unbeknownst to me and who I have then recommended it to for other children, the similarities are pretty impressive. I mean, initially it's just the temperament of the child. I mean, people worry so much, is my child gonna be a fussy baby? Are they gonna be able to handle all the stimulation? Well, one thing that I believe strongly in is that BabyPlus helps them so much adapt to their changing auditory environment. So when they come out, they're just much less kind of overloaded from a sensory standpoint, which then, I also believe leads to them being able to interact in their environment in a much kind of more calm and beneficial way. And I think then the next phase of that comes as you begin to see their early cognitive development, and that can be as early as like 4 or 6 months, and certainly when you begin to talk about speech 12, 15, 18 months, and just watching them learn and put connections together and show interest in their environment and be able to absorb information. And the memory part of it that I've observed in my own kids and certainly talking to friends and talking to patients, that seems to be one of the ways I've seen it make a big impact, and that can obviously cause them to have a great advantage, not just in school, but also in life in general.